Perfect. You might have to hit the OK button, Laura, just because it does this thing for recording. Hello. We'll take 3 breaths up. Start with your inhale, lifting, and your exhale, lowering. And take 2. And take 1 more. And up. And then we're going to take those legs so they are a little bit turned out, and we're going to sit down. I'm going to turn sideways so you can see me from the side. You're going to see how the booty goes back, and the heels are heavier than the toes. The knees track with the second toe. The arms are out here in front just to counteract the fact that your heels are so far back. That looks good, Karen. That looks good, Michelle. Good, Rick. Good, Betty. That's it. Your heels are so heavy and have more weight. They're so heavy and your toes could lightly lift. That's how light your toes are. They could lift off the floor. So I have mine off the floor, for example, right now. We're just going to take 3 more, and I'm going to turn so you can see me from the front. 2, both legs feel 50-50, and 1. Now bring the toes towards each other, and you're going to be basically lifting up your heels and lowering, and exhale up and inhale down. And so when you do this, each of your toes has equal weight. It's real easy for the pinky toe to try to take more weight, and it's not intended to be a weight-bearing bone. So your heels lift, you're not letting the ankles go out like a sprain. The other trick you could think of is there's an imaginary tennis ball between your ankles in the middle, in the medial line. That way you don't let the ankles go out. Go up. You've got a little bit of ab tone so that your low back doesn't get any more lordotic or sway than its normal tendencies, because anytime the arms are up, they tend to. The low back can get too lordotic. All right, take 2 more. And then take 1 more. Nice, perfect. Okay, this is going to be for side leg abduction. You can open up your leg, and it's just a balance tool. So if that's feeling unstable, like if you have any sacral issues, you can go back to a bilateral squat. Otherwise, open. I'm trying to keep this foot off the ground. I'm going a little bigger as we get more used to it. 5, toes are forward, so it's working abductors. 6, it's also working the balance muscles. 7, this hip's getting stronger, this ankle. 8, your ribs are gently tucked. 9, so your low back doesn't get sway. I had to touch, that's okay. 10, other side. It's like you're between a toaster slot. You're in a toaster slot. 1, bigger if you can. 3, 4, working on balance. You feel the foot figuring it out. Back against a wall. Good. 8, 9, and 10. Beautiful. Now take the arms up. We're going to go to a down dog. So your hands are going to connect to the floor. Your feet are going to go back. And then just, you can walk it out, or you can lift both heels and lower. I am going to lower my video view just a bit. So if you need to do the same, you can. Got water handy. Heels up and down. That's going to feel like the calves are getting warmer. You can inhale, lift, exhale, lower. And then bend one knee, bend the other. So each calf gets its own attention. And then press both heels down and hold. 5, 4, 3, 2, and then on the 1, let the knees down. And we'll go into a plank. So your elbows are going to come down. Make sure your bones are happy. You're going to press your legs back. And now you're in plank. Your forearms are down. There you go, Betty. I can see you. Your ear is in line with your shoulder. You're doing great. I'm just giving all the cues. You're making sure your low back doesn't droop. You have energy in your legs. And it's like you're pulling your elbows to your toes and your toes to your elbows to add an isometric contraction. Inhale. Now on your exhale, we're going to turn our body sideways. You can double up your mat if you'd like, or triple it, I should say, whatever you need. Go up into a side plank. Just a static one, just a stable one. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Lower your hip as opposed to your shoulder, and then let's take it to the other side. Elbow down, plank, side plank, Go up. 10, 8, 7, good. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And now we're going to take it to a front plank. So go back to the front facing plank, curl your toes and pause. Now, if you're in plank and you need to stay put, that's fine. But if you'd like to add on, push through your toes. So you go forward a little bit and back through your heels, forward and back. You're going to feel your abdominals keep your low back safe. They're gently pulling your pubic bone towards your navel. Let's take 5 more. The ear is in line with the shoulder. 4, so the head's not dropping. 3, 2, and 1. And then we're going to turn. I just have to remove the sock here. If you would like to add on, your top foot can go into a tree pose. So if it's going to tree, you can put it on your calf or your inner thigh, and you're just going to hold steady. So wherever you are, we're holding 10. Head against an imaginary wall. 9, 8, good. 7, 6, nice, Michelle. 5, 4, 3, 2, lower your hip, and then we're going to go to the other side. You have the elbow down plank, your arm is up, the calf can be, the foot can be on the calf or the inner thigh. Come on up. 10, good. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. With care, lower that hip. Really good. Come back to your front plank. Your elbows are down. You're going to go into a plank. Now, once you're in plank, there's a possible add-on if you would like. You're going to push your hips up, kind of like a dolphin here, and then go back to a plank. Press your hips up, and then come back to plank and press your hips up. Inhale. Exhale, come back to plank. And keep going. You're finding where your ribs need to be. You're finding that your shoulder blades are flat on the back. Wherever you are along the plank, dolphin. Do 3 more. Come back. Good. You're just letting your breath dictate the speed. 2, controlled. 1 more. Hold your plank. 5, 4, 3, 2, rest your pelvis. Now, once you rest your pelvis, you notice you're in a Sphinx. Check in with the abs. Pull the belly up and make sure you're not over glute tightening. And then if you want to make this a little bit more advanced, you can get rid of your Sphinx and then hover your hands and press your hands into the floor. Hold. Just check in. Your neck is soft. You can be in a Sphinx, you can be in a low swan, or you can be in a hand hover. So wherever you are, your belly pulls up a little, your neck is clear, your shoulders are down the back, your elbows are probably pointing towards the floor unless you're in Sphinx, and then they're on the floor. 3, like it. 2, feel the breath get into the upper back. And then lower your spine, rest your head or your cheek on your arms and lift up both legs. Lower the legs, lift up your back, and then if you're adding on your hands, push your hands on the floor and go up. Lower your torso, lift your legs. Lower your legs, lift your torso. Lower your torso, lift your legs. Lift your upper body, hands press. Lift your legs. Lift your upper body. Lift your legs. And now stay up with your hands helping you. 10, 9, 8, good. 7, and breathing into the upper back. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Lower down. And now we're going to take a child's pose where you just push your hips back and you release the low back. 5, 4, 3, 2, and then 1. And then come to a side plank. We'll go back to extensions in a moment. But for now, side plank, arm up. We're going to be threading the needle. Our hips are going to be stable. So when you're ready, come up. Keep your hips where they are. Let your torso and your arm rotate. Thread the needle. Inhale, open back up. Exhale, keep going. Your hips are staying the same. Your bottom arm is very strong. 3, when you lift your arm up, you're making sure you don't push the torso forward. 4, because you want that bottom arm, shoulder blade down the back. 5, making sure your bottom hip isn't dropping. 6, unless you are modifying and your hips on the floor for a modification. 7, for an intentional modification. 8, 9, inhale, exhale, 10. Now I'm going to lower my hip and turn to you. If you want to just flip through forearm plank and go to the other side, you can. I just want to make sure I'm seeing you. So other side, arm up. Now as you're ready, you exhale and you rotate, and then you inhale and you open. You exhale and you rotate, you inhale and you open. And exhale. And exhale. And 6. Inhale. And exhale. 7. Good, Michelle. And 8. Good, Betty. I see that. And 9. Good, Karen. Just listen. If you need to modify, you modify. 10. And then lower. Good. We're going to take a bit of a reprieve. This is a chance to grab water if you want to. Your feet soles are together. You can add a bound angle, and you're just letting any tension go out of your neck, out of your shoulders. This is a great chance to grab a sip of a drink and just let it go. You could use your elbows on your inner thighs if you want to, and just hold. I like to open up the big toe in this and just make sure it's staying flexible away from your second toe. 10. And then we're gonna inhale and come back up. If you wanna keep doing that stretch, you can. I am gonna offer reverse table / reverse plank. So if that doesn't serve your wrist, you can just stay where you are. Otherwise, your reverse table looks like this. Your fingertips are towards your booty and your hips are lifted. Or the harder one is legs long and you soften the knees and you go up. Okay, so we're gonna hold. Good, nice, Michelle. 10, 9, and you're looking probably at your toes. 8, so your neck isn't getting tossed back carelessly. 5, 4, 3, 2, inhale, and exhale down. We'll take our hands together like you're holding hands with yourself and just rotate the wrists. This is also good if you do any sports that are lots of gripping or hobbies, and then go the other way. And we're gonna do another set of those. And Michelle, if you want to take a little different angle on that bound angle, you can. It's a great little stretch. Otherwise, you can take reverse table, reverse plank, and lift up, micro soft the knees. 10, 9, make sure your head is okay, meaning your neck. You're probably looking at your toes. Soften the knees. It's easy to get hyperextended. So I like to spread out the toes here. Can you spread the toes so much none of them are touching? Inhale and exhale. Lower. Now we're going to take a bit of 30 seconds or so to come down. Soften the knees. Make sure you have enough mat behind you. Inhale. Most of us are going to have our arms in front and bend a little bit. It's like you're putting down a beautiful string of pearls and bend a little bit, flex a little bit. But if you want it easier, hang on to your legs. If you want it harder, frame your face. Keep going. 10. Got 20 more seconds. Squeeze the knees together a little bit like you have a penny between your knees, and then your knees usually have to get longer over here to make up for the fact that this part of your seesaw. And keep going. 10 more. I'm just going to make sure this isn't a client trying to get in. My phone is blowing up. Okay, we're good. 5, 4, 3, 2. Now we are going to take a full body stretch, arms overhead. 5, 4, 3. And you can even shift one arm past the other and one leg past the other. 3, 2. Inhale, and it's kind of like your knees are long. That way you get your QL muscle. Now let your feet go to the floor. We're going to take an inhale. Exhale, curl up to your shoulder blades and then curl down. You're going to curl up to your shoulder blades and then curl down. This is looking good. And go up and down. And 5. So what you're doing is at your own pace, and we're going to go through the cues. I'll just talk while you continue to bridge. Imagine you have 4 corners of pressure on your feet. Imagine you have a Nerf football between your knees so your knees don't touch or wing out. Now you're going to stay up with this next one, and you just kind of verify, are both hips level? Do I feel my glutes, my inner hamstrings? And hold this. If you would like to add on, and there's no issues going on with your sacrum, you can add on the right leg up, and you can drop your hips and lift them. And we're doing 10 of these, or you can just do 10 where you hold steady with your feet on the ground, or 10 with your feet both down. But whatever you do, your low back is not getting any more curved. Your left knee's not winging out to the side. Exhaling. Now you can switch the feet and realign, just sort of double check. Am I feeling okay? Am I level? Left leg up. Now you go down and up. Your neck is soft. Then your foot comes down. Now, same thing. If you want to play with one leg, you can. If you want to keep it with 2, you can. But if you want to play with one leg, you can lower and lift and lower and lift. And your goal is to keep the hips level, 1 or 2 feet. 4. Your goal is to make sure your low back doesn't take over and get arched, which for a lot of us means we don't go up as high as we feel like we should, because your legs are so strong, they'll just power you up past a good low back place. 2. Now after your 10th one, your right foot is down, realign, just sort of check in with your abs. They're helping your low back. Other leg can come up and point and flex as you lower lift. But right as you do this, you're imagining, okay, I feel my glutes, I feel my hamstring, I don't feel my low back anymore curved. So you put your attention on the cues. Inhale, exhale, inhale. And after that 10th one, which I'm on the count of 10, most of you are with the same count, both feet come down and inhale, curl your lumbar spine. Now, once your sacrum's down, you can take both hands up, happy baby. This is another place where you can open up the toes. So you can put a first finger between the big toe and the second, the 5th finger between the pinky toe and the ring toe, the 4th toe. So you're opening up those places where people tend to get tightness. 5, or if you tend towards hammer toes, you can straighten out that second toe. You see how you can help open up give attention to the feet. 5, 4, 3, 2, and then 1. Now we are on the floor, left leg down, right leg up. So your hands are beside you, kind of like a frame. I'm going to turn just a little so I can see you and do movement. Circle your leg in the air. And for now, your goal is to keep your shoulder blades down. Not like a tense, keeping them down, but a more like a piece of Velcro's underneath them to the floor. The ribs are down. You're not letting them wing up with a big, or lordosis, a big lower back arch. We are doing 10 each way, and then you can reverse it. Your other leg pours to the floor so it gets a little psoas opener. Your neck is soft. Go ahead and scan it anytime you need to. What we'll do on the last one, the 10th one, is keep that same leg in the air and put your hands behind your thigh and point and flex and really spread out those toes and stretch through the toes, point and flex. You're going to feel your hamstring. Hold the toes back and you're in a hamstring stretch for 5, 4, 3. Nice, Michelle. 2. Now we're going to let that leg down. It should feel a little longer. The other leg goes up. Your hands are like a frame around your pelvis. You're going to draw a circle. 1, big circle. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. All right, let's change it up around. 1, 2. So your other leg is pouring. 3. Your shoulders are on the mat. Your neck doesn't have any tension. If you feel like your head's coming off the floor, your neck's tense, usually the correction is to put a pillow underneath your head and shoulders. After the 10th one, you can keep your leg in the air and put your hands behind that thigh and then pull your toes back. Stretch the toes apart. Point. Good. Really reach. Inhale and exhale. And you're spreading out your toes. Then you can pull the toes back and pull the hamstring into an edge of mild discomfort. Shake out any tension in your shoulders and your neck. 5, 4, 3, 2. Both legs up in the air and just kind of keep them in a little stretch. Hold. 5, 3. Now your hands go beside you. This is called corkscrew. The modification is to bend the knees. The other possibility is you keep them glued and the legs and you circle them as a unit and then you come back to vertical. And now if your sacrum is at all uncomfortable, just take the time to double up your mat or triple it. I've got 2 mats under me. So you don't want to hurt the bones or the body in order to get stronger. We can do this without hurting. It'll feel like the muscles are working, but we don't want the bones or the body to wince and associate pain with the things that we're doing that are good for us, for at least for Pilates and exercise here. And you keep the legs glued with your inner thigh muscles. You go to vertical and then you draw a big clock the other way. Try 4 more. Bigger is harder. Knee bend is easier. 2 more. And then take your hands between your knees and hold onto your feet. Let your knees be wider. This is going to be an inner thigh stretch, a pectineus stretch. 5, 4, 3, 2. Let your feet come on an imaginary table. Let your fingertips go behind your head at a rotation, which is crisscross in Pilates or yogic bicycle. Exhale. The modification would be just leave the feet on the floor and do a upper body crunch. The harder is keep your knee only at vertical when it comes in. Your thigh only comes to vertical. That's harder. If you need easier, keep your knee in closer in between. Now pull your toes back and do 10 more, like you're pushing through your heel. 9, belly in. 8, 7, belly in. 6, 5, 4, Another modification is a towel behind your head, 2, and rest. Okay, hug both legs in and take as big a circles as you can with your ankles, as if you're drawing a very large clock, and then go the other way with your ankles. We want to keep these ankles mobile and then point and flex them. We want to keep them mobile and stable. So we always have good balance. So we keep our arches healthy. All right, now we're going to take the legs up. Let me show you a modification, which is almost like a little baby pair of scissors. That's your modification. If you want to make it harder, lift up your shoulder blades, pull one leg lower, one leg higher, single straight leg stretch, point, point, flex, flex, point, point, good, flex, flex. Keep going. Your shoulders are off the mat. If they're not, it'll make your neck hurt. Your neck will be back here working too hard. So you really have to get in your abs and pull your shoulder blades up. 4, 3, so lift the shoulder blades up if the neck's even at all thinking it's not good. And then rest, hug those legs in and give those ankles a little breather. I'm going to show you a modification of double leg stretch. If you know where I'm going, go for it. Double leg stretch modification is head on the floor, arms up, legs up. Swim the arms around and hug. Modification, arms up, legs up, hug. Now, if you're making it harder, arms a little further back, legs a little further forward. Hug. I'll do one more of those modifieds. Arms back, legs forward. Now, the harder, the classic is lift up your shoulder blades, your little cannonball. You stretch your arms and legs away from you, hug. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. 4, 3, 2, 1, and recover. All right, lift up the legs. Baby lowers, baby lifts. So you see how I'm just moving? This is modified. Here, more modified would be baby knee bend lowers. I'm going to show a couple. This is harder, legs long. Adding on, hands behind your head, lift up your shoulder blades, lower the legs and up. This is called double leg lower. It doesn't have to be towards the floor. In other words, you can get the abs pulling the ribs down here in like a 2-foot range of motion. You're welcome to go a little lower if your ribs can stay down. Take 4 more. 3, 2, and 1. Good. Now, before we add on, we're going to take our right ankle to our left thigh and wake up that hip. If you would like to rock a little bit, you can. This is a figure 4 stretch. If you need a sip of water, you can. I'm going to grab a sip and relax the body. Karen, that's the one where you like your pillow. Good. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and just kind of roll that ankle. It's really nice place. It's free here. And we're going to do the other ankle to thigh. Reach your hands through. This is a great place if you want to move a little or wiggle, you can feel it. Five, ankles are welcome to move here. 4, 3, 2, and when you're ready, we're going to turn it to the side. So I'm facing you. You can double up your mat again. We're going to take lateral flexion. which is like you're painting a rainbow. So you can take your legs long. Oh, if you want to modify, you're on your knees or you're on your hips. So your elbow is directly underneath the shoulder. That's the most important cue. Keep that shoulder blade down the back. One hand's on your thigh first. We're gonna go up, lift up your arm and lift up your hip. Now you're gonna bring your hand to your, and up and over. And inhale. And 3. And 4. And 5. And 6. And 7. And 8. And 9. And 10. Now we're gonna lower that hip. We're gonna go to the other side. It's kind of like you're painting a rainbow. Your hand goes on your pelvis. We're gonna take a huge rainbow up and over. Now, when you do the lower, you're not lowering your hips to the floor. Your inhale, good, Rick. Exhale, 3. And 4. And 5. There you go. And 6. Yeah, the up part's more important than the lower part. 7, meaning you're not lowering down to the floor. You're working the top range. 8. 9. 10. Really good. Let's go to a forearm plank, meaning both elbows. This is going to look like it's rotation in the pelvis, just the tiniest bit, okay? So come to your forearms. You're on your toes and your forearms, unless you're modifying, then you're on your knees. Now, the movement is really small, but pretend like you have water underneath your hip and you want to dip your hip and left hip in the water. Neutral. Right hip in the water. Neutral. Left hip in the water. Neutral. Right hip in the water. Neutral. So it's like your baby rotation. 6. 5. You're going to feel your obliques. 4. 3. 2. Now, settle your pelvis on the floor, either be in a sphinx, or if you want, a cobra, a swan. Wherever you are, we'll do the same pose. Shoulder blades down the back, belly lifts. Really good. 5, 4, the neck is clean, there's no wrinkles. 2. And then let your hands down, let your hands down underneath your forehead or your cheek. Now this is single leg extension, hip extension. Lift up your leg and lower it. Lift up your other leg and lower it. And then I'm going to add the cues while you do this single leg lift, and do it with your knee long. It's almost like you're trying to touch that wall behind you. You lengthen the leg and then you lift. You lengthen the leg and then you lift. You lengthen the leg and then you lift. Now, your belly pulls up. It's where your hamstring meets your glute. And 4, 3, 2. Now, if you want it harder, your arms go out like a Y. You're going to lift up your right arm and your left leg, your left arm and your right leg, your right arm and your left leg, your left arm and your right leg. So you feel like your belly's on a raft and this is swimming. Shoulder blades are down the back. It's called the posterior sling. Really important. It's kind of like how we walk, those muscles that keep our back healthy when we walk. Now, if you want it harder, all the arms and legs are off the mat, and then you continue to lift your right arm and your left leg higher, and then your left arm and your right leg higher. Check your neck, make sure it's comfortable. It's not wrinkled or tense. Your upper back can lift a little bit more, usually with your breath. It's more of a challenge if you want to make it faster, but you certainly can. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, good, 4, 3, 2, and a child's pose. Push your hips back, and what you can do is curl your toes under here, and that'll give your feet a stretch. Now, if you have any plantar fasciitis or metatarsalgia, you don't have to do that, but with seasons changing, it's really good to help the feet transition into different shoes, and it's also just good anyway. 5, 4, 3, 2. Now come into hands and knees. And you're gonna exhale and round your back. And then inhale, lift your sternum, lift your tailbone. But what you're doing is making sure you don't drop too much in your lower back. So if you're prone to being lordotic or sway back, you're not going into that. You're just mostly upper back extension on that one. Now, if you want this harder, curl your toes under, lift up your knees a little bit, maybe 2 or 3 inches, lift your heart, flex. This is cat-cow becomes the beast. Now it's a more arm workout. 5, 4, 3, 2, and on the 1, lower your knees and your hands. Okay, you're in plank, you're in a normal, what do you call it, table back, right? Lift up all your toes to make it harder and lengthen your right arm and your left leg out. Now your left hip's gonna try to lift higher than your other hip, but you don't want it to. Exhale, round your right elbow to your left knee and extend back into that lengthened arm leg position. Round. Now, if it's too hard, you can let your right toes down for balance. Exhale, round and extend. Good. 4, that flexion of your spine is what the abs do, the rectus abdominis at least. And then this anti-gravital to the multifidus, which are important for back hair. And they're the muscles that when you get pain, they shut off. And so we have to reignite them. Okay, 10 and the other side. Left arm and right leg lift up. Now your left toes and left shin are off the ground if you can. Exhale, round, touch your elbow to your knee and reach. Exhale, round, touch your elbow to your knee and reach. Good. And 3. And 4. And 5. And 6. 7. 8. 9. 10. Now pause. You can take a wide knee child's pose when you're ready. That's going to let your belly have room to take a big diaphragmatic breath. Diaphragmatic breathing is a great way to help calm the nervous system. So you can actually feel your belly expand between your knees. Make sure that your neck is soft. Breathe. 3. So you have the tools to know how to calm the nervous system. Your eyes are closed, you're breathing in your nose, and your diaphragm is expanding. And then when you're ready, we're going to come back out to the hands and knees. Now I'm going to give a couple things you can do. Pick which one serves you. The first one is right arm off, left leg off. That could be all you do. If you would like to, hold on to that foot and push up towards the sky and add a little stretch. If that's not your thing, stick with the arm leg long. 10, 9, 8, good. 7, 6, there you go. 5, 4, belly is pulling in. 3, 2, lower your hand and your knee, and then take your left hand to your right foot and push up. Breathing, opening. And again, if you want the modification, it's just reach that arm and leg long. Inhale. And on the exhale, put the toes back down, press back into a downward dog. So you spread out your fingers, you press the heels back, and you can almost lift your toes here. So right now, if the calves are feeling more open, you can lift the toes. Otherwise, just press the heels towards the floor. 5, 4, 3, 2, take another inhale and exhale. Now, this is a normal plank. If that's too much for your hands, your wrist, you can do a elbow plank. But it is nice to make sure the wrist has some strength to them in case you do fall. There's a common fracture, a Colles fracture. You have this little bit of strength you're used to having here. 5, 4, 3, 2, Now, you can lower your knees and come down to your belly. At this point, hands are beside your pelvis. The palms are facing down. But if you would like to add on, interlace your fingers at your low back and open up the chest and shoulders a little more. Lift up your back, lift up your arms, lift up your toes, your knees, and then just breathe. You're gonna naturally kind of lift up and down. Check your neck. You're looking down enough that you don't have any wrinkles in your neck, but your ear's in line with your shoulder from the side. Breathe. And relax. Switch your fingers so the other pinky's on the outside. What we're doing is opening the front side of the body, strengthening the back side of the body. Inhale, lift up. And this is the secret sauce to maintain good posture and good bone density. This is what helps keep us more upright. It's also a great mood elevator. The body thinks of flexion as calming and can sometimes reduce the breath. And this lifting up is a chance to get more breath, more energy. Up, 2, and 1. Now either do that again, or if you want to bend the knees and hold on to your feet or ankles, you can. Now, if that's too much, go to either 1 foot only or do the interlaced finger position or the hands beside your hips. Lift up, 5, 4, 3, lower. We're going to do it again. So that way, if you had only 1 foot, you have a chance to grab the other one. Or if you want to just do the interlaced fingers, that's fine. Go up. You're taking ownership for what your body needs. 8, 7, 5, 3, 2, and 1. And a child's pose here. When you're in child's pose this time, walk your fingers far, far, far to one side, pinky far away from your hip. This is also a good chance to get a breath or water. Breathing, stretching, opening. Open up your armpit now. It's kind of like a clamshell looking at the sky. Walk over to the other side. You're going to keep your fingers just walking, walking, walking. Rib cage opens. Fingers walk. Breathe into that rib cage. This is clamshell. It's like you're a clam and you're looking up at the sky. Good. And then come back. Now, what we'll do is line our sides. This is going to be a quad stretch. So I'm going to show a couple ways to do this. This one is one way. Your hand goes to your foot and you're on your side. Your arm is a pillow. You can do this, Ellen. I know I can't see you, but I know you know this one where you're on your back and you do a bridge and you pull your foot under. The other possibility, if you don't have enough stretch, you know that one too, Michelle. You lie and you pull that foot underneath you on a roller. So I'm giving different options because we're all at different flexibilities and different muscles. So there's no ego. You just do it. This is the truth. Follow the truth. Ribs down, pubic bone up. On either side posture quad or this one or the bridge. And this is a great chance to direct your breath low. Just by focusing on internal cues, you create a sense of calm for the parasympathetic. You stop the outside world having so much influence. So just that alone, just your attention alone is great, but also just adding deliberate breath to where the attachments are on the diaphragm on the back. Deep diaphragmatic breath, get some blood flow to that Lower back, the psoas attaches here. Breathe like this rectus femoris is getting some of your breath. Take the other side. You're either gonna roll onto your other side or you can just pull your foot under. Quad. Great. Good, Karen. That's it. Good. And just do a little scan. Can I let go of muscle tension anywhere? Shoulders, neck. Can I let go of any tension in the back? Five, four, three, two. Now when you're ready, you can come off of that roller or wherever you are, just lie on your back and take the thighs in for a moment. You can take a little circle, kind of like you're just circling your sacrum on the floor. You can circle it the other way. We are going to take a rotation here. So when you're ready, your left leg can go very long on the mat. Your right knee can go, I like to lift the hips up to scooch them over and then take the knee down twist. Your left hand can help that knee out. The right arm, it can take circles. And it's like you're at the beach and you're drawing fingertips around in a big circle. But the main thing is here, you just keep it in a feel good range of motion. No pain, right arm out, palm is up if you can, like a T or a Y, but if there's any pain, lower that hand down. So you're gonna look at that right hand, but you could close your eyes. Breathing is like you're filling up fresh white light throughout the body, the ribs, and then you exhale and you release tension. Take another inhale. Now, as you exhale, we're gonna take that other side. So one leg's long, one knee's over, and then your other arm, it can do a few circles here in a feel-good range of motion, pain-free range of motion. One hand is helping you keep your knee down like a paperweight. One arm is out like a palm up position, but lower it if it's too hard, or flip your palm if you need to. Your gaze towards the left side, but you can shut those eyes to help tap into the magic of the parasympathetic system. It helps offset the cortisol state that we sometimes get in by accident. Our brain's wired to look for things to fix and focus on, so we're just releasing that tendency for a bit, letting our brain heal, creating a healing environment for the nervous system of health and wellness. Everything's okay right now. Let your body focus on the breath and or the muscles where you're releasing tension. Make it a little game. How much tension can you release in the body? The ears, the tongue, the eyes. Take a few more breaths there. Take another inhale. And as you exhale, gently come back and let your feet be wider than your mat. So you are kind of like a bridge, but you're going to drop your inner left knee towards the mat. If you need more, pick up your right ankle and place it on top. If you need more, put your arms overhead and relax. You notice how much it lets go with your deliberate intention. We're going to take it to the other side. So let your feet be wider than your mat. Drop your right inner knee. If you need more, pick up your left ankle and place it like a paperweight on top of that thigh. Your arms can be overhead. Let your neck soften. 10, 9. And you're letting your eyes stay closed. You're letting yourself get all the benefits you can from the calming of the nervous system. Setting an intention of healing, restoration, wellness. Feeling all the healing go in through the body and through the nose. And 3, and 2, and 1. And if you need to pull your legs in to kind of neutralize the spine, you can, or if you want to take a full body stretch, you can do that. Potentially relax your hands by your side, palms up in a state of receptivity. Relax any tension in your body, and I'll put you in a place where we went yesterday four-wheeling called Tokerville Falls in Utah, back behind all the mesas. You could only get it with a really rugged four-wheel drive, tires jacked up vehicle. So it's a really special, auspicious place. And there's a big waterfall that falls into another hole. So there's 2 waterfalls in the middle of cottonwoods, orange and white and pink coral colored mesas around. The cottonwoods are bright yellow, kind of like aspen in the fall, without the white birch. The leaves are similar, kind of like a heart, a spread out wide heart. So in the seeming contrast of desert and then a white frothy, foamy waterfall oasis. Just imagine how that would sound to have 2 waterfalls and the leaves moving with the wind because of the higher elevation. About 72 degrees with a light wind, beautiful blue sky, mesas all around with orange, coral, white, buff colors in the distance. Just take a moment to notice what you see, to notice how it sounds, to notice how it feels, to take a break, to let your body and mind heal, to feel supported, surrounded in the beauty of nature. Notice how the air feels dry, but there's water around, so you can feel droplets of moisture in the air as well. Just take a moment to feel that sense of health and restoration And then as you're ready, wiggling the fingers and the toes, coming up towards a seated position. And just imagine you're still next to the waterfalls, Tokerville waterfalls, lifting up through your spine, hearing them in the background, 2 waterfalls around the mesas with the beautiful yellow cottonwoods. The cottonwoods grow near water, so you can see how the water of the river meanders and the cottonwoods are following the river. So just take a moment to notice a sense of peace, wellness, restoration, and we'll set that intention for the next few hours of our day. A sense of peace, a sense of wellness. So even as you walk, you can feel that sense of wellness in your body, sense of wellness in your breath, in the mind. It's clear. There's clarity and wellness. There's creative mind, creative ideas and wellness. So just notice that sense of peace and wellness. Let your hands come to your heart as you set that intention for the next few hours of your day to be hyper aware of that sense of peace and wellness, and that you can access it whenever you need it with a few deliberate breaths. Whenever you're ready, let your eyes come back into the room. And I wish you peace, wellness, clarity the rest of your day. Thank you so much. You did great. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Bye, guys. Have a great day. Bye.